Hello teachers, today I'm going to show you how you can schedule a Google Meet live video chat ahead of time for your students. And I'm going to show you how to do it using Google Calendar and Google Classroom. So first off, in Google Calendar, it's going to give you the option to schedule events ahead of time in the future. And that's something that a lot of teachers want to do to already prep for their Google Meet sessions with students. So what you do in Google Calendar is you could hit the create button and add a new event, or you could just find the date. Excuse my messy calendar here. So I'm going to see that I have an opening on Saturday. Now, obviously I wouldn't have a meet with students on Saturday, but you get the picture. So I'm going to go ahead and double click in there, and it's going to bring up my assignment details or my scheduled event. And so I think it's a good idea to always put that it's going to be a live meeting. That way when students see it, they'll see what it's supposed to be. So I'm just going to say English live meet. And I'm going to put it as April 18th, which is the Saturday. Now, the important part here is down below, you'll see an option with a little video button, and it says Add Conferencing. You're going to want to click that drop down and then click on Hangouts Meet. And you're going to see it generates the link for you right here. Now, that link is technically live right away, but nobody's going to be clicking on it yet. So that's going to be your Hangouts Meet. Now, in order to get your class to see it and to put it and push it out to your students' calendars, you want to go down to where you see what calendar it's a part of. Right? And it's right underneath the add notification. You'll see that it has my name because that's the originator, me, and that's what calendar it is. But if you click on that, you can choose any calendar that you have access to. Now, the great thing about Google Classroom is it automatically creates calendar folders for you based on the class. And that's why you see in Google Calendar any assignments that you have upcoming. And the students can see that too. So I'm going to go ahead and go in and choose my fake class testing. Once I'm good with everything, I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Now, I can see it on my calendar. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like for a student. This is the student view of their calendar right there. So it looks a little bit neater. I'm a student in my own Google Classroom page, and so this is my personal Gmail, and I can see now that there's a new scheduled event on my calendar for Saturday from 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. And if I click on that, I can see the Hangouts link right there. Now the problem is there's not many students that know to go into Google Calendar. So unless you train them to constantly go in and see all of their assignments through Calendar, and it does link to the specific assignments too, or unless you tell them to go find the Hangouts link there, they're not going to do it naturally. But what you can do is now take this link and copy it and put it into Google Classroom. So now back in the teacher view of things, I actually added a second event on the following Saturday just to show you what it would look like with two. And so I did the same thing, went through the same process, but it does generate two different links. But now if you want to make sure that this can sync well with Google Classroom and that the students will actually get it as an assignment, here's what you're going to do. So step one, you're going to grab your first link and you're just going to copy it. After you've copied it, you're going to go into your Google Classroom page and you are now going to make an assignment for that live meet. Now you could make it an ungraded assignment, that's completely fine, but the whole point here is you're going to schedule it out in advance. So you're going to create an assignment and you can do so ahead of time. Now I would recommend naming it the exact same thing as your Google Calendar assignment as well. So I'm going to put English live meet. And then I'm going to go down and hit the add button, link, and I'm going to paste that link in and hit add link. And now that's my video link for that. Now instead of hitting assign right away, I'll actually schedule it to maybe post the day before or the night before or maybe even the day of. And then I would just give them the announcement. But I'll do the day before, so I hit schedule and I'll post it for 8 a.m. And now it's going to be scheduled out. Now notice in my assignments here, it is kind of grayed out, and that is telling me that it is scheduled in advance. It hasn't posted to the students yet. It will actually not post until 8 a.m. on April 17th, which is approximately 24 hours before that first meet. So you could actually go through and schedule out each live meeting that you're going to have. Or you can use the Google Classroom integration with Google Meet and just keep announcing it that way. But if you want it to sync with Google Calendar and you want them to get notifications of it ahead of time, you will need to do some training with the students to constantly go to Calendar. But the good news is Google Classroom creates the calendar for you, and you can schedule things out ahead of time. Just make sure that your students know. So that's just a couple different ways that you could think through scheduling out Google Meets ahead of time.